Hello, my name's Robin Vincent and welcome to the Molten Music Monthly July 2015. Yay, it's a new thing. It's an adventure, an endeavour, a commitment to bring together all the most interesting news from the world of computer music technology, all neatly wrapped up in my own thoughts and feelings about it all. Along with notable software and hardware releases, I'll also be highlighting some of the interesting and obscurely related bits and bobs that float my boat. This month we have some pre-Windows 10 thoughts. We have Harrison Mixbus 3, we have Persona Studio One 3, we have the Launchpad Pro, we have Chime, we have Whiplash, and stuff. Microsoft is poised to roll Windows 10 out onto 1 billion devices at the end of the month. There's lots of interesting developments in terms of how MIDI and audio are going to be handled in the new OS, although how that actually pans out in terms of audio performance and latency is yet to be seen, but we're only about a week away at this point. One of the more exciting ideas is enabling an audio process to run on a single core, sort of constantly and uninterruptible, which could have a really interesting impact on audio interfaces. Microsoft did a keynote at the Summer NAMM that just went past in June, where they talked a lot about all of the different audio and MIDI technology, and they had a really cool demo with Bitwig showing how they had made a customized version to run purely on the Surface Pro 3, utilizing touch and the pen, and it really sort of brought to light how that if a manufacturer can just get hold of what something like multi-touch and something like the Surface Pro 3 can bring to the table, it can produce an immensely creative and interesting music making environment. So go and check out the whole video from the link below, and you'll find the Bitwig stuff at about minute 41, but all of it is really interesting stuff. And there'll be lots more on Windows 10 coming up next month once we've got it kind of installed on a few important systems. Presonus recently released version 3 of their really quite excellent Studio One software. It comes with a new look, some new instruments, new ways of stacking effects and combining instruments, some new and innovative sort of songwriting features, and the whole lot is completely touchable. I spent the last month working with it in order to write an in-depth review for Sound on Sound magazine, which should be out in the September issue, so that'll be available about mid-August, where you can either pick up a copy or you can download it from their website. In the meantime, I've been putting together a couple of videos about the multi-touch elements, because it's very difficult to describe in a magazine article, and so I'll be sticking those up in a few days, I should think, so check those out as a companion to the main review. I love my Launchpad. I love it. I use it all the time with Ableton Live when playing live. I think I've been here before. But they now have the Launchpad Pro, and Ovation have just released it to the shop, so you can now go and pick up your own one. It costs about 230 quid, I think, and it gives you lovely RGB colours on the pads. It's sort of thicker, chunkier. It's got these buttons that go all the way around the outside for lots of different functions. I'm going to have to get one, I think. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to get one, I think. And then perhaps I'll do a review. That'd be good. Let's do that. So yeah, that's out now, the Novation Launchpad Pro. Harrison may not be a name that you're familiar with in terms of DAW software. What they usually do is build enormous consoles for post-production and for studios and for filmmaking and all that sort of stuff. Most of the best classic tracks in the universe have been mixed through Harrison consoles. And so it's that level of engineering and experience that they bring to their Harrison Mixbus version 3. This is a fully fledged piece of DAW software where they have a particular emphasis on the sound of the mixer and the processing. The mixer is designed like an analog mixer, so anyone who's used to an analog studio is going to feel right at home straight away. They've released it with a $79 price tag, which is quite extraordinary for a fully fledged piece of DAW software. And there's no doubt that the quality of the mixer interface that you have is just really something that's beautiful and needs to be seen and experienced. And for $79, well, it's kind of, you know, it's not far off the price of an Xbox game. So it's got to be worth a punt just to try it out. Do be aware though that many of the plugins are actually optional extras. I was talking to them about a year ago because they were saying that they were planning to introduce multi-touch control over the whole console. I haven't actually seen that happen yet, but you never know, it might be coming along very soon. But regardless, it's a very interesting environment. Go and check it out. A few years ago, Zoe Mode released a musical puzzle game called Chime. It's like a combination of Tetris and sort of ambient music sequencing. And what I loved about it was that as you played, you sort of remixed the music and found yourself completely lost in transforming these sort of cool loops by such diverse artists as Philip Glass, Paul Hartnell and Moby. The look and feel of the game was just fantastic, and the sound and the way you manipulated the music, I thought it was really dreamy. After many false starts, one of the original designers, Stu Curran, has been fiddling with Chime 2, and it's finally got to a half decent stage. So they decided to call it something else. They're going to call it Chime Sharp, and they've whacked it onto Kickstarter to see if they can get some investment to make it into the game that we all want it to be. They've got new artists on board, they've got a new look, and also the potential of being able to stick your own music into it, which would just be awesome. At the moment, they've hit their first goal and are now looking to do interesting stretch goals, including sticking your own music in, but they're also now up to 13 tracks, which is fantastic. So I can't wait for this to come along. So they need a little bit more investment just to get up to the really, really interesting stretch goals. To go and check them out, the link is below. Throw them a few dollars, and at the end of the day, you're going to get an awesome, fun musical game to play. And finally, my film recommendation of the month. Everyone's probably already seen this already because I'm like way behind, but I got it out on DVD very recently, and it's Whiplash. It was nominated for Oscars for Best Picture, among other things, and it won for Best Sound Editing and for the guy with J.K. Simmons, the Best Supporting Actor, got his award too, because he was awesome. Although I'm not sure that he was supporting particularly. I don't think he was very supportive. In fact, he could have been the star. It could have been the other way around. Doesn't matter.
We got Buddy Rich here. Little trouble there. You're rushing. Here we go. 5, 6, and. Were you rushing or were you dragging?
I don't know.
If you deliberately sabotage my band, I will gut you like a pig.
Oh, my dear God. Are you one of those single-tier people?
You are a worthless pansy ass who is now weeping and slobbering all over my drum set like a 9-year-old girl.
But if you're not aware of it, it's a semi-autobiographical journey of a jazz drummer student trying to get into one of the best bands in their conservatoire. J.K. Simmons plays the instructor, who's a hard-nosed, sort of psychopath, evil genius jazz something, who's running this band and sort of psychologically and physically abuses the drummer in his quest and determination to be one of the greats. The feel of the film is total electricity. I haven't felt anything like it in ages. It just buzzes on the screen. The performances, the sound, the music, the way that they've combined the playing of the drums with the visuals and the sound and everything, the way it all comes together and just goes. It's just truly amazing. I mean, it kept me awake all night with my brain just chewing over the entire experience. It was an awesome movie. An awesome movie. You know, the quality of the sound, the drumming, the speed. It was just intoxicating to watch Miles Teller smack those things. And apparently he did like 99% of the drumming himself. So, you know, it's sort of these movies where people got work out for a couple of weeks to get a bit buff to look like a space marine. This guy, he played drums, but he never played jazz drums, and he was somehow able to pull off these extraordinary performances. It was just amazing. So anyway, if you haven't seen it, go and get it, stream it, buy it, rent it, borrow it, whatever. You don't have to see it at the cinema. It's not that kind of film. But to sit there and watch it, I think, even if you don't know anything about jazz, nothing about drumming, don't even care what music is about, don't like bald-headed men, it doesn't matter. It's a fantastic film. Go and watch it. That's it for now. Next month, I imagine we're going to be steamrolled by Windows 10 and everything that means. So as soon as that's destroyed my studio PC, I'll come back and tell you all about it. So that'll be fun. So until then, Cheers, go and make some tunes.